Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Nathan, and in behind me here is not a wrapped BMW X5, the one I just had in the last video. It's actually a new one. This one here is a 2012 BMW X5 35D. So you may be wondering, why the heck would I buy another BMW X5, especially because I just had one maybe about a month ago, not even. Well, the reason was because I did like that one to an extent, but my huge gripe with that black one, the 35i, was that it doesn't have a very fuel efficient engine. It takes premium fuel, and not only that, it can't tow anything. So what's the really point of having something if it doesn't serve any purpose? I mean, I already have a fun car, my GTI, but I need something that could actually be more practical. So the reason why I got this one is because it has the diesel engine, and not only that, it has the factory towing package. Now, looking from the exterior of this BMW X5, the E70 generation, I do quite like this look. It's definitely more wide than the E53. I mean, I'm not usually a big BMW fan. To be honest, it's actually my second BMW that I've had in about 2 months. But nonetheless, so I do think this one is pretty decent. Now, I got this for a pretty good deal. I mean, obviously, there's a couple of things here, like it's missing the headlight washer right there. And the wheels are a bit crap. At least there's a bunch of brush marks right here, so they don't look very nice on the outside. Also, the previous owner had a scratch right here, which I mean, is not the worst I've ever seen on a vehicle, but I can probably fix that at some point if I really want to. And at the back here, this was the main draw, was the tow hitch. Now this one is a factory tow hitch that came from BMW, or at least installed from BMW when the first owner bought it. And thank goodness they did, because it is a nice option to have. And to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna be towing things with this vehicle at least at some point, because I do want to flip more cars and I do want to at least work on more vehicles. And sometimes you can't really get to them unless you have something that can tow. And not to mention the GTI, although I love it very much, it can't do much with it besides just have a nice daily commuter, which I do like it for that. Well, let's check out the interior here of the X5. And as you can see, it's got the nice black headliner with the sport seats here, not the 20-way power comfort seats that the other one I had, but nonetheless, so it does have the thigh extension, which is great, and also has the nice steering wheel. I mean, this one looks a little bit better than the one that was in the black one that I just recently had, and this one has a little strip here. It looks like chrome, at least. It looks pretty good. And not to mention, there is a heads-up display right there, which is pretty cool. In the back here, it's pretty much identical to the one that I just had, where you have your climate control right here, and then on the floor there, that is the factory tune, because previous owner, when they bought this vehicle about 8 years ago, they had it tuned right away, which he said was 160,000 kilometers, which I think is better late than never, I guess. So it is decent to have. I mean, that was also a big draw to this vehicle. I also had looked at another X5, which I'll show you guys the whole adventure during that day right now. Just arrived at the ferry terminal here. It's about 7 o'clock. So unfortunately, I'll have to wait till the 9 p.m. sailing to get back home. We are on our way. So it was a pretty long day. I left on the early sailing at 7 a.m. and got back here just after 11, so it was a long day, and obviously I just fell right asleep. So this is the next day, and just showing you the car right now. But again, it's pretty decent. I did look over it with a fine-tooth comb at the very common issues. Of course, there is a couple. Because this is a diesel, it does have a bunch of emission stuff, which fortunately has been deleted. So it has the EGR delete, which I believe also this canister right here that runs along the front has helped in that for sure. But nonetheless, though, there is a couple other problems here. The glow plugs all need to be replaced, and also the module, because they're throwing a bunch of codes for that. So another issue here is the cylinder 1 fuel injector, which is struggling. So I'm probably going to replace that here in the next week or two. All right, underneath the X5 here, this is the front of the vehicle, that is the back, and you can probably spot something here is that it's missing that metal guard that goes right over the engine, and then also there is a under tray that goes right here that is also missing. I did tell the seller that I do need that back when he can, and he did say once he finds it, he'll let me know, which I will take with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, though, everything else looks pretty decent under here. I mean, I think there's an oil leak coming from up above. This is the steering rack right here, and there is probably an oil leak, I think, near the valve cover, so I will address that at a later point. But otherwise, everything looks to be pretty decent. Nothing else is leaking down here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for problems. Again, just the glow plugs and the fuel injector. I think once those are sorted, it should be pretty good. Not to mention I will do some other preventative maintenance as I always do when I get a vehicle, but I think as a whole, this vehicle is pretty well off. As I mentioned, I went to the mainland to get this vehicle, but while I was over there, there happened to be another BMW X5. Now this one's a 2012, and the other one I looked at, which is a gray one, it was a 2010, and it was being sold by a dealer. Now that one had 126,000 kilometers, whereas this one has almost 240,000 kilometers, so quite a difference, but similar, close in price. But nonetheless though, I ended up taking this one because that one didn't have the emissions delete, and nor did it have the towing package, and a couple other things too. I kind of do like the LCI here on the X5. It looks a lot better. Now, the main reason why I took this one is because the dealer did not want to negotiate on their price. They were pretty much firm on their price, and I figured once you add in taxes, all that stuff, it just basically blew my budget out of the water for one of these things. So this one here, they were asking $10,000, and guess what? I got them down to $8,200, which I'm so stoked about. Now, again, this vehicle is not without its faults. It's not perfect, but nonetheless, I can make it to where it needs to be in the most optimum running condition as soon as possible. Well, that about wraps up here on my newly acquired 2012 BMW X5 35D. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and also consider subscribing so that we don't miss any future videos on this vehicle and also my car reviews and car projects. So until next time, take care. Bye now.